Syesha Mercado is an American Idol finalist who has been fighting to get custody of her two children who have been taken away by Florida authorities within the past 6 months. So regarding her first son, Amin Ra, Syesha and her partner took him to the hospital because he was refusing to take liquids. So what happened was that Syesha's breast milk was drying up because she was pregnant with her second child, and so she was trying to wean her first son Ra off of breast milk and was trying to give him some other liquids, but he refused to do that. They were concerned that he was losing weight and was not getting the nutrition that he needed, so they took him to the hospital to seek help. Well, what happened was that the state ended up taking the baby from their care and placing the baby in foster care because their reason was that the parents had allegedly refused to give the baby B12 shots. Okay, that's what they were told at the hospital. Oh, and it only gets better. Okay, so when they went to the hospital, they had no written documentation regarding the reason why the baby was taken away. All they got was a verbal, hey, it's because you didn't give him B12 shots that we can take him from you. Okay, there was no caseworker involved. There was no investigation involved. They weren't giving time to repair what the doctors thought might be wrong. They were not giving any fair shot. And also come to find out, they had been taking the baby to a pediatrician, to a lactation consultant, and it just sounds like things weren't working out and baby was still losing weight probably. And so that's why they went to the hospital, because they were looking for help. So this is what's wrong with that scenario. When the state steps in, usually what happens is that somebody calls CPS. Okay, CPS doesn't just show up at your door and take your child. It's because somebody made a call, somebody made repeated calls. You need proof, okay? So somebody called CPS because they don't just show up at the hospital and take your baby. They were thinking that it was a doctor, I think Sally Smith is what they've been saying, may have made the call. And what I find as a lawyer who has worked in juvenile court, what I find appalling and I'm so shocked about is that these parents were not given time to remedy what the doctors may have thought was wrong. Now, I don't know all the facts, obviously. There's always more to the story, right? But just from my understanding, from what I am hearing from the videos, I am shocked that the parents were not giving time to remedy the things. Usually what the state does is that they will get involved involuntarily. And what that means is that they will give the family a chance to work on the things that are wrong. So, well, that's not what happened in this case, like I said. Syesha went to the hospital and came home without her baby. And I am absolutely shocked that this happened. Now, this is the other part of the story that I find shocking as well. So from my understanding, none of the family members of the mom or the father have been considered as foster placement for this baby, which I find absolutely horrendous. Stranger foster care placement is supposed to be a last resort. Okay, that means that if a child goes into foster care, there's an aunt, an uncle, a grandma, a grandpa, a family member that is fit to take care of this child. That's always the best first option because you still want the kid to be with the familiar face and somebody that he knows. And I am absolutely shocked that none of the family members of these parents have been considered for foster care placement. And to add to all of that, not only is it that the baby was taken away, they said that the baby needed to go into medical foster care because the baby was severely malnutritioned and, who knows, all the other details, right? The baby just needed help. So the baby needed to be in medical foster care. But what happened was that it sounds like, from what I'm hearing from the videos, is that the baby actually ended up in regular foster care. Now, I want to pause here I'm telling you guys this story, or talking about this story right now, because I want you guys to see the foster care system that we have right now in America sucks. And it is doing an extreme disservice to the children. Now, this video is inspired by my absolute shock that you guys just heard this whole thing about them taking the first baby away. They just took the second baby from her like 2 days ago, you guys. 2 days ago. The authorities followed her, stopped her on the side of the road. Like, I think there were like 5 cop cars or something. You can go watch the video on YouTube. They stopped her and demanded that she surrender her 10-day-old baby so that the baby can go to the hospital to be checked. Okay? So here's what happened.
We're surrounded right now by Manatee County Sheriff's Department, and that's our current situation. It is me. It is Syesha.
And they are wanting us to turn over our newborn.
They all have all of our IDs. And we're sitting here and more coming. I don't know.
I know we fighting to bring Ra home. Now they're wanting to take our newborn.
Go down on your knees and pray real hard, Linda. We're sitting here, we're surrounded by sheriff deputies. We never need it. No. We're headed to the courthouse on the corner of Woodfield and Lockwood Ridge. I'm trying to find an address so the attorney can get to us.
Hi. I understand that you're on your way to the office, but we can't let you transport the baby.
Yeah, she took her out. We got the car seat. No, she took her out the car seat.
We actually have a pickup order, so we're going to put the baby in my car. Case management's going to take the baby to the hospital.
We have the medical. She just was seen yesterday.
Last night.
Yeah, we have.
Here's the order. Here's all the. You guys are going to go to the office if you want to be interviewed by this young lady right here. She's going to be responsible for that.
What is she going to eat?
Case management.
Yeah, she's breastfed.
Take your child to the hospital. Here's all the correct paperwork. Okay. That's fine. She can do that at our office.
Case management's coming to transport the baby.
They coming right now?
Yes.
Yeah, they're on their way right now.
And that's can I see that, sir?
Why are they taking the baby?
Because we had gotten a report that you had given birth. You already have one child.
Who said I gave birth?
That's the report that we got. So
It was a report, like harmful report?
to CPS. That's how it came.
So CPS got a report that I gave birth, like I was endangering my baby by giving birth?
No. Okay, so we got the report. It said that you had given birth, and there was concern because when case management came out the night before to do a welfare check of the baby, they couldn't get in the house.
We didn't say that. We said contact our attorney. That's what we told
We
him.
don't have a contract.
CPS got the report, okay?
Yeah.
So that's why we're now involved.
And we get it. No, yesterday we get that when they came, and I said, if you want that information, contact our attorney. They never did that. They just went and got these orders. They could have got all the information they needed through our attorney.
So what was the reason why this baby was taken away this time? What it sounds like from the video is that they didn't let CPS see the baby the day before. Okay, but as you can see from the video, it sounds like they did not let them see the baby. All they told them was talk to a lawyer because he's got all the information that you need to know. Okay, but also it sounds like the baby was just seen by a medical doctor just the day before. They were stopped by the police the next day. So baby just had a checkup, and obviously everything looked fine because they went home with the baby. And now the next day they're being stopped by cops so that they can surrender this 10-day-old baby to go to the hospital. Now, Syesha, you'll see later in the video, she asked, can I go with my baby to the hospital? Like, can I ride in the car with her? And they said, no, you may not. Let's watch it.
So wrong, Sarah. How could
You don't
guys
feel
do
nothing?
this? Do you not feel anything?
Let's put the baby in the
You guys,
chair.
I'm human. This is
I
my baby.
understand
My
that.
baby is days old. And you're taking my baby away from me. You're taking my baby away from me. You have no heart. This is so wrong.
Just give her a second. Can you give her a second?
Don't make it seem like I'm
it's
crazy,
not.
okay?
Yeah, this is normal.
I know you have children.
Sarah.
This is my baby.
You may not have babies, but
I carried my baby for 9
This is-
months.
Understand that.
this is normal.
You don't care.
Yes, I do. Put the police.
You don't care.
Which,
Would you like to put the
You
baby
could
in
have
the car seat?
talked. No, I don't. I want my baby.
We have to put the baby.
My baby is healthy and happy. My baby is breastfeeding from me. What are you gonna give my baby?
Please put the baby in the car seat.
can you just give her a second? We gonna cooperate, but don't be a human before anything. We know you're doing your job, but you have some empathy.
Oh my God.
Y'all done took our son. Now you taking our daughter.
Please put the baby.
You understand that, right?
Please put the baby in the
There'd be something wrong with us if we didn't respond.
Baby. Oh my God. I have to hold it together, right? I'll hold it together. I'm strong.
I am so appalled at this whole thing. I'm so appalled. And my heart goes out to Syesha. As a lawyer, I always want to know all of the facts. And there are so many questions that I have about this case that I'm probably never going to answer to. But this is what I would encourage you guys to also ask to find out. My number one question is, why is the case with her first son still open? Okay. Number two question is, why couldn't she ride in the car to go to the hospital with the baby when so far there hasn't been a report showing that she is a danger to her baby or that the baby is not safe in her care? My third question was, I don't know if you guys could see in the video, apparently the lawyer was kind of pacing up and down the sidewalk. And my question is, why? Why is their lawyer not talking to the cops and not talking to the caseworker, and he's just pacing up and down the sidewalk? Now, I don't know Florida law, okay, but I'm pretty sure this is all across the United States, is unless there is a court order that is saying that a child is in danger in their home and needs to be placed in foster care, the child is not the property of the state, okay? So just because you have one child in foster care does not give the state the right to take your second child. I actually had a case like this about 2 years ago where a mom had, I think, five of her children taken away. So she was pregnant with her sixth, and she knew that the state would show up at the hospital and take her sixth child. So what she did this time was she set up an adoption plan with a couple because she didn't want this sixth child to end up in foster care. So the adoptive parents actually called me and they were asking if I could represent them in the adoption, and I actually ended up representing the biological mom. And so what I had to do, because I know the foster care system really well, working in it for so many years, I knew what the state would do, and she knew what the state would do because she had happened to her already 4 times in a row, and that's what she was trying to get away from. So what I had to do as her lawyer was I had to send a letter to the state and let them know, mom has an adoption plan. You may not show up at the hospital to take her baby. This is the thing. Because biological parents don't know what their rights are and they don't have a lawyer explaining it to them, the state steps in and steps all over them and makes them think things that are not true. If your child is not a ward of the state, you have full parental rights over that child, okay? If there's an investigation pending, there's something going on where CPS is involved, of course, you have to wait for all of that to be resolved. But if you have one child in foster care, you're pregnant with your second one comes out, the state does not have the right to just come in and take that child. They can ask to see if the baby is doing okay, but they can't come and physically take your baby away just because the other one's in foster care. They have to prove that this one is also in danger with you, that this one, there's also a safety issue. Whatever is going on with the first one doesn't just translate to your second one. It doesn't work that way. Okay, there's got to be 2 separate cases for them. The state can't just step over the rights without proper documentation, without a report showing that there's a safety issue, without anything like that. So I want to know, the other question I have with them asking her to put the baby in the car and that she can go to the hospital with them is the baby now a ward of the state? Was there a report that was filed that showed that mom was no longer safe for the baby? If there is, where is it? Why doesn't mom have the documentation? Because the other thing is that mom has to be served the paper. She needs to know that you're taking her baby before you just take her baby, right? Because there's an emergency order that's signed. That all happens with, the attorneys in the court. The mom gets served papers that basically say, we're taking your baby away. So that didn't happen. So my question is that because Florida law is different? Or was the baby already a ward of the state and they were just letting her have the baby in her home? Unfortunately, Syesha is one of many families who go through this with CPS every single year. There are so many families whose children end up in foster care for really no reason because CPS make up something or basically walk over the parents' rights. And then the children stay in foster care for, it starts getting dragged out, and then a few months later they finally go home because now all these things have to be done to fix what they did before the child can go home. So who really is being negatively impacted by this is the child, and it's the biological parents who are fighting to have their child back. So I am calling for an overhaul in the foster care system. Actually, I am calling for the foster care system to be completely obliterated and for it to something completely different to work. Because right now, the foster care system is not serving our children. The way that the state gets involved, the way that CPS gets involved is sometimes I've had cases where it was warranted, okay? I don't want to say that in every single case they're wrong. But a lot of times I am shocked at how much miscommunication there is, at how little investigation there really is, and how the caseworker's personality can actually play such a huge role in the way that the family is even portrayed to the judge. So I hope that as you hear Syesha's story today, that you are as outraged as I am on the foster care system and that you choose to do something about it as well. Okay, what are we going to do? Let's raise our voices and call for an end to CPS and foster care system, or for some type of checks and balances to be placed over CPS so they no longer have the power to just take children out of parents' homes without a viable explanation, without proper investigation, and without a report, and also without giving families time to really fix what's going on in their homes before they escalate it and it gets taken to court and the children get taken away. All right. If you like this video, you guys, make sure that you click the like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and share with your friends. Thanks for watching. Bye.